Hello everybody, how are we going? It is so good to see you guys again. Thank you so much for checking this video out. I hope you guys are having an absolutely wonderful afternoon, night, wherever you guys are at. If you are new to the channel, why not smash that subscribe button? We're trying to build it and see how far we can take this thing. All your support means the absolute world to me. And if you like the video, why not click that like button? That'd mean the world to me as well. Now, this video is what makes Resident Evil different. Why has it hung around for so long? Why is it so successful when there are hundreds of other horror games that have kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit? So let's jump into that and see how we go. It's hard to pin down what essentially makes it different, and honestly I think it's a combination of things. I think they get so many things right that with it all together it's a beautiful package that makes it withstand the test of time. I actually thought it was because Resident Evil was the first zombie game. Turns out it wasn't. It was a 1984 game called Zombie. Now this is the PS1 era, so there aren't a lot of horror games that are mainstream successes. On the PC side of things, there's a little bit different, you know, because you've got a little bit more kind of power and stuff. But in terms of consoles, especially because consoles at that stage, we're just coming out of Nintendo's reign, so you know, all the Super Nintendo stuff. So consoles were generally marketed towards kids. Now this is something that PlayStation changed, and this is something that this is why I've stuck with Sony and PlayStation for so long, is Sony knew their market, and they knew to go for like the angsty kind of teenage crowd, so teenage and adult crowd. So that actually opened up gaming to an absolutely new era of what kind of content could actually be put into gaming. So we had differences in music, differences in art style, we had more mature themes, blood and gore. And this is where Resident Evil comes into it. I remember having never seen anything like that represented in gaming format before. You know, we had Mario with the spooky ghosts and stuff, and that kind of got it, and a few things with other games, but nothing on this scale, nothing directed at a console. Now, it was actually quite revolutionary in terms of what Resident Evil delivered. The gameplay was completely new. The whole aspect of it in terms of the design, the artwork, everything about it was menacing and different and unheard of, and like the puzzles as well, and the whole tense atmosphere hadn't been done, in my opinion, successfully in a package, and that's why it became one of the first successful horror series, and that's what I mean, a series where it's like ongoing. You know, I've literally just finished playing Resident Evil 1, and then I've jumped all the way to Resident Evil 7 and currently playing Resident Evil 8. So this has been going for years and years and years, and that's just a testament to how solid this game is, and it's a big testament to what kind of game developers Capcom are. They have innovated so much, and that's another thing that makes Resident Evil so different. It changed the game, and not to mention the third person view. Like I've said that before, but that was something completely new. The combat, we hadn't really had like a survival horror aspect of the combat either. That was something new where you could actually physically shoot something. We had that before, but not managing what to shoot. How much ammo did you have? Is it worth even staying here, or should I just run past the enemies at this point and come back later? And all the little nuanced things with the actual terror that it inspires. It plays on what the player expects, and it turns that against them. A perfect example is Resident Evil 1, where you've got where the dogs jump through. The first few times that won't happen, and until you're actually kind of like, it's all good now. It's when you drop your guard, they'll fucking jump through in. And every time they've got me, they've scared the shit out of me. And look, another thing that's quite amazing is the level of impact that the characters and the lore have had on media itself. That's quite a rare thing. It's one thing for us to enjoy a game, but it's another thing for us to really accept and love the characters, where we really just want to see more of them. And not only just a one-off thing. pretty much a lot of the, bearing a few examples, a lot of the characters from Resident Evil are quite dearly loved. Even ones that get killed off in Resi 2, they still get mentioned. We're up to Resident Evil 8, and Chris Redfield is still in it. Like, he's one of the fan favorites, So, and they do a great job of incorporating new elements and upgrading and improving and listening to fans. That's a big thing about Capcom, is they tend to listen to fans, unlike other companies. But that's another thing that makes Resident Evil completely different. And look, the series continued to adapt and it continued to evolve with the industry. That's another big point. It accepted the feedback and added that into it, especially with the later games. That's a huge testament, is the difference between Resident Evil 7 and 8. Having literally just played 7 back to back with 8, it's so refreshing when a company actually listens to people. And when a company listens, this is what Capcom knows, they sell more shit. They sell more shit, they listen, they look great in the fans' eyes. Win, fucking win, fucking win. Woohoo! Resident Evil is a true horror game. It makes you sweat and it makes you work for every single bit of ground that you gain, which is quite crazy. And especially when you think about how long ago like the PS1 era was, and how unique and different the actual gameplay and the actual level layout in terms of getting keys, and you need keys over here that's going to access a door over here, and how anyone beat that back in the day without any help boggles my mind. Like, if you were one of the OGs that actually beat all the original Resident Evils, like, I tip my hat to you, sir. That's fucking amazing. And the box art, that's another incredible thing. I remember going to my local video store back when they were a thing. It was called Video 2000 at that point, and just looking at the artwork and going, fuck. It was Resident Evil 3, and it was just a photo of Nemesis, and I remember seeing that and being like, I want to play this, but I'm absolutely terrified at the same time. So it's a bit tricky, but it stuck with you. Like, people still talk about the first zombie encounter where where the zombie looks around and it's like chewing on his mate. So that's what I mean. There are so many layers to this that's what makes Resident Evil truly different. And separates it as one of the true greats of gaming classics. As the series progressed, they have always tried to make things different in the sense of improving simple things to genre-defining things, They've done it not once or twice, but multiple fucking times, and that's what's blows my mind. So you had the OG horror staples, which is Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. Now, I'm actually going to admit some of the side games and stuff. I'm just going to mainly talk about the main continuity here. They're all canon, but you know what I'm talking about. And then, so what they did was 1, 2, and 3, and then they flipped the game again and went into more of a combat-heavy, not too much, but they still kept the atmosphere of dread, horror, and suspense. And that's what brought out Resident Evil 4. Completely changed the game. One of the best horror games to this day. I will stand by that 100%. They continued along with 5, which wasn't, I actually enjoy 5 quite a lot. 6, I haven't played it, but I know some fans didn't quite get into it. And they, again, Capcom were going for more of an action-orientated foundation, which I've got nothing against, and I'm going to play it at some point. I'm going to love it, I bet. So what's really cool about that is the next thing they did is they changed the game again. They listened to fans, and they were like, we need something stripped back. We've gone too far with how outlandish this is. We're kind of bordering on a Michael Bay fucking movie, which, again, this just shows the willingness for Capcom to change, adapt, overcome, and improvise. There are layers to make like a fucking onion. We're talking Shrek here, people. This is what makes Capcom and essentially Resident Evil different. And not to mention, without Resident Evil, the industry itself would be completely different. We wouldn't have terrifyingly beautiful horror games like Silent Hill. We wouldn't have stuff like Forbidden Siren. The horror games themselves would look I'd actually have no idea of what it would look like, and not to mention how much it's inspired others. But internally, you think about Dino Crisis 2. We're not going to talk about Dino Crisis 3. But we're also talking about one of my favorite game series of all time. Actually, what I played before Resident Evil, Devil May Cry. That was set up to be, that was the testing for Resident Evil 4, I'm pretty sure. So that alone, you know, in terms of the inspiration Capcom just fucking inspire everyone to be better. And like, I can honestly say, after playing Resident Evil 7, where they went back to basics and had a more of a horror outlook, fuck me, I was shitting my pants. It was... And again, I'm ranting a little bit here, but it's a good rant. You know, I'm passionate about Resident Evil. I'm passionate about Capcom. Like, I guess us gamers have always... Now, we've gotten used to being disappointed by stupid decisions by the gaming industry that we've kind of had to live with, you know? Like, Capcom have never kind of got into the loot box bullshit or the microtransaction bullshit or like having to pay for characters. They've always willingly given you bang for your buck. Like when I downloaded Resident Evil Village, just the standard thing, nothing special. They gave me the soundtrack, they gave me a whole bunch of shit. I've got a really cool little cute Raccoon City thing that I can put on my shotgun in the game. Like, there's so many instances in terms of fan service that they just tick all the boxes. It's really, really refreshing. And it's really, really refreshing to play Resident Evil 8 because it is literally like they have got all of the lore and the history and the other games and smashed it into one game to make something which is still Resident Evil, but it's different. It's the next natural evolution from Resident Evil 7. And literally, I've just played the first about 2.5 hours of it, and I'm like, holy shit! It left me, it was like a roller coaster ride, relentless. It just didn't stop. I can talk about this game for fucking years, you know? So, look, Capcom is not perfect. They have made some mistakes, and that's what, you know, they own their mistakes. You know, there's one thing that, you know, the whole thing where they cut out some of the level from Resi 3, I don't understand, but I didn't work behind the scenes. Like I said at the start of this video, there are many layers and many different things that make Resident Evil different and great. And that's what I think makes the difference, if that makes sense. It's each little thing adding up together to create the sum of something different, new, exciting, but it's honest, it's unique, and it's genuine. I know honest and genuine, same thing, but I guess, and it's genuinely terrifying. It's an amazing game, and I hope that it continues on forever, and you know, touch wood, and I hope that Capcom keep riding this wave of goodwill because we love it. The fans love it. You keep doing it, we want more. Bring it on. Fuck yeah, baby. So all I can say is there's the multiple points in this video that actually make Resident Evil different. It's a combination of things, and it's the developer behind Resident Evil that keeps this brand alive. That's going to wrap this video up. I am thoroughly am one of Capcom's biggest fans. Anything that they bring out, generally I'll give it a shot. Eventually, it might take me a little bit, but I will get there, and I am always looking forward to the new shit that they're going to bring because they're always on their game, and that's another thing that makes them different. Whenever they come to E3, whenever they're coming to drop something, you know it's going to be fucking good because their quality control is up there. Like, they've just released R-Reverse, which I'm yet to play, but I'm very, very keen to. I actually tried to get on that last night, but the servers aren't up yet, which is, I get, fair enough. So, and again, thank you so much for checking this video out. Like I said, if you're brand new to the channel, click that subscribe button. If you do want to see some Resident Evil gameplay, I'm currently playing Resident Evil Village. Make sure you check that out. I've got Resident Evil 1. There's a full playthrough up if you want to check that out. A full playthrough of Resident Evil 7 as well. Make sure you take care of yourselves, guys, and I'm sending so much love your way. Make sure you enjoy your afternoon, your day, night, wherever it is, wherever you are, enjoy what you can. Anyway, guys, I'm out. I'm Bedlam and Squalor. Until next time, so much love. Peace, peace. Before I go, I do stream every day, anywhere from 2:30 to 5:30, so if you do want to catch some gaming stuff, literally just click on the channel and more than likely I will be streaming at some point. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you to it. So much fun seeing you again. Make sure you take care. So much love. Peace, peace, yeah? All the best, guys.